What's going on, family? It's Bashari Jones. Welcome to Life Study, where we're here to study life because that's what we're doing. That's what we're living. And we want to make sure that we're the best versions of ourselves possible so we could become an asset to the planet, to humanity, to our friends, families, business partners, and all those around us. And I'm excited. Y'all, I'm so plugged in, like right now, like so plugged in to the to the quantum realm and the quantum field. I know we had a really good study last week, starting off with the four agreements. We started off on the dream, the initiation of the book, and it's funny that I use the word initiation because whenever you're going through esoteric knowledge and you're learning, the hidden knowledge, you do have to initially go through an initiation, right? Uh, to get this information. You have to join, secret societies, brotherhoods, and different organizations to get this information. But now that we're in the age of Aquarius, the age of information, this information is available everywhere. Like you can literally go, on YouTube. You could go to websites. You got access to books now. You can literally go to Borders, bookstore, or Barnes and Nobles, whatever which one is open still. I think Barnes and Nobles is still open. And you can actually go in Barnes and Nobles and pick up books, off the self-help section, or the mystic section, and get esoteric information, esoteric knowledge just available to us. Um, freely, and readily. So, and it's just all about now, the person who's brave enough to tap into the information, tap into the knowledge, and understand the information, understand the knowledge, and take it, take it to heart, and then utilize the knowledge and take action on the knowledge. So, before I get to going, because I'm ready to go today. What I want to do is do what we always do, open it up for this week's epiphanies. I know we talked about the first agreement. We all had some homework. So just briefly, if you guys could kind of share how your week went, with doing your homework, and any epiphanies, or any awakenings that you
Okay, so I'm gonna make it quick
had.
because I'm out of breath. Um, so I was supposed to be doing the mirror meditation. That didn't go quite as planned. It's actually more difficult than I expected. So what I did was broke it down into 5 minute increments.
Mhm.
Like, and I wrote like some affirmations and stuff on the mirror, and I do 5 minutes. If I get to a second 5 minutes during the day, a third 5 minutes during the day, then that's cool. But my goal is just to get 5 minutes in.
Mhm.
And I spent a lot of time this week decluttering my space so that
Mhm.
I could focus because I have this thing where if I'm doing a live or something, I hop on my computer and I'll face the camera towards my computer, but I'll clean off my desk and not clean it off. I'll grab like a grocery bag and throw everything in there. So I had like these grocery bags sitting behind my dining room table. So I went through all of that stuff, cleaned, dusted, so I could have going into this week clear space so that my mind wasn't so scattered, so I could
Mhm.
focus a little bit more. So I'm going to continue my mirror meditation and
Nice.
try to get them to longer increments. I think my goal is about 15 minutes per session, and I want to do 2 sessions a day, one when I
Okay.
first wake up and one when I go to bed. But
Nice.
that's it for me.
Nice. All right. All right. That's what's up. And baby steps is all it takes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes a day is the first step, right? So it's all good. It's all good. That's beautiful. Dayla, I see you.
Hey, yeah, sorry.
Oh, you
Hey,
good?
y'all. So, I honestly am kind of on the same road as Christy. Like, I realized that because I had fell off, like I was trying to get back to where I was versus like starting at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So it was definitely challenging for me as well. So what I did was I went back to my audios that I had or whatever, and I just told myself like, You don't even gotta say it. Because in the beginning, when I was doing my affirmations, all I did was record it and I just listened to the recording every day. So I was like, okay, I could do that. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like I'm starting to, just listen to the recordings and I do gotta make some changes. I added a couple and I kind of see where there's some holes and things that I need versus like what I already had. So
Right.
yeah, so I'm just gonna be listening to my recordings and every day and journaling. That's it. Like cause I had this like whole list of stuff and it just got overwhelming for me. And I'm just kind of want to do this every day. Like, oh my gosh.
Right.
So yeah, I'm starting small to build it back up. So yeah.
Nice. Nice. Okay, cool, cool. Good deal. Good deal. All right. And Will, if you can. All right, Will might not be able to speak right now. Ladies, you have anything that you want to share? Hold on, let me cut the camera off. Unless you don't
My
want to.
bad, I was doing something. So,
Oh,
basically, just not trying to be overwhelmed with how life is trying to distract me from my goal, and just keep moving forward. Setting plans up, looking into more resources, taking the resources that my colleagues and friends are providing me that I do appreciate. Trying to just structure the best way to just build my brand out and stay focused.
mm-hmm.
Taking on new jobs, new opportunities, and learning little skills on the way. That's my marketing and sales skills, and it's absorbing the whole journey.
Gotcha. Okay, good deal. Good deal. All right, babe. So you want to cut the camera off? Because you might come close to the mic. Can y'all hear her? Can y'all hear Kiana?
Not really.
Okay,
Nope.
right. Come close to the mic.
Hey, you guys. So for me,
So,
what's been taking place for me is I started Shari and I both actually started a 21-day detox, pretty much cleaning up our diet, mostly just fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, and also getting very clear and intentional about meditating daily, mainly over two things right now: health and finances. I just kind of kept it real simple. And Bob Proctor gave us an affirmation a long time ago. And I was just thinking about this affirmation. I would just say it real quick. I know y'all have heard it, I'm sure you have, but money comes frequently and easily from multiple sources on a continuous basis in increasing quantities. I just thought about that affirmation and it just covers everything easily and frequently and consistently and increasingly and multiple sources. Like I just really been meditating on that affirmation because this world is abundant and I have to really remember that it is abundant and I can have anything that I can think of or even imagine, right? And being able to really understand and not let outside forces distract me from what I know is the truth and to stay planted in that affirmation when situations come up where I don't feel like it's abundant, but I have to remind myself that it is. And again, over my health, speaking over my health and my body and my energy levels and all of those good things. So it's been a good start. Feeling real good. And for me, whenever I feel hungry, I remind myself that's time to say an affirmation.
yeah, that's been that's been a deal. That's been a deal. All right. Yeah, that's been a deal. We just started, and just to give you guys a glimpse of my world this week, man, it's I feel so plugged in right now. I believe that me leaving Just Energy was a blessing. I believe it was the universe saying, okay, Bashar, it's time for you to plug back in because you've been unplugged to the level that you're usually plugged in. And this week, pretty much I've been doing the light meditations. And what I mean by light meditations, uh I've just been visualizing me being a light being. Okay, so basically what I would do is I would close my eyes and I would start to visualize light entering into my body, consuming, the brain, coming down, consuming the heart, and traveling throughout the rest of my body. And it's just being light and just absorbing the light. I remember one time I was at the gym this week, and I was playing basketball with some young guys. I wanted a little bit more energy. So in the middle of me playing basketball, I was playing defense. I imagined light hitting into my body and focusing through my eyes. And I literally had a burst of energy in the middle of me playing basketball just from visualizing the light at that moment. So what I learned was that, and this is going back to last week when we did the study, we talked about everything that that they understood that this is a world of um, light. Okay, okay, this is a world of light, and that we are light beings, right? So just accepting that light and letting that light come through us, and accepting that that's who we are. Because sometimes we do a lot of external work, but we don't do the internal work, and we skip the internal work and forget about doing the external work. And what happens is that when Don Miguel Ruiz is starting off with this, because think about it, the four agreements, he doesn't talk about light when he gets into the four agreements, but he introduces it with light. And this is one of the reasons why I like to get information from multiple sources. Why? Because everything is a puzzle. Everything is a puzzle. And a lot of times the way that we study, we'll take a piece of the puzzle and we'll observe the puzzle, we'll learn the puzzle, we'll see the beauty in that piece of the puzzle. Then we'll set it down. Then we'll pick up another piece of the puzzle. We observe the light and the beauty of this puzzle, but we forget about the first piece that we picked up. And we forget to connect the pieces of the puzzle so that we can start making an entire picture of things, right? So I'm saying this to say is that when Don Miguel started off with the light, he's setting up a mind frame for us to take through the rest of the book. Because we'll get into the first agreement and then we forget about the light world, that the world is made up of light, right? We forget about that we're in a dream. We forget about that part of the book while we're reading this next part of the book, where he's setting up a stage to say, okay, look, the stage is this. This is the stage of everything I'm getting ready to tell you. This is the stage. It's that we are living in a dream world made of light. Okay, I remember I had went to bed one night and I had my nightstand light on. That was the only thing that was on, and then the TV screen was dark. It wasn't necessarily all the way off, but it was dark. I mean, there was nothing on it. And I looked at the reflection on the TV screen, and in the corner of the screen, like right here, was the light. And then off of this white light, because it's one of those white LED lights, off of the white light, off the rest of the screen, projected a rainbow of colors, a color spectrum came off the pure white light. A color spectrum came off. I was looking at this. I was like, I really want to understand this. Like, it's just this off of this pure white light. A color spectrum was created on the screen, going across the screen. So then I adjusted myself to where the light moved over about this much. I do, just adjusted myself with how I see the screen, and the light moved over just about this much. And then there was a color spectrum going in both directions, right? From that light. So it was creating a color spectrum, in like a two-dimensional field on that flat screen. So as I'm looking at this, I'm like, wow, okay, so color, so the color spectrum comes from light, right? Which we all understood and know from science. You know, we understand those basics, right? That the color spectrum comes from light, but being able to see it and observe it and just concentrate on it and say, okay, because of the light, I'm able to actually observe everything that I'm seeing. I'm able to observe the color. I'm able to observe the material. Why? Because what did he say? He said, what? The atom is what? Mirrors. The atom is mirrors to everything that we see, right? So when I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch the video that I sent with Minister Jew. Did you guys get a chance to watch that video? Anybody? No? All right. So please go watch that video. Like, I'm begging you guys to go watch that video, because when I say what's getting ready to manifest with us is getting ready to be amazing. We getting ready to go on an amazing ride. Okay, no worries. Just please go watch that video this week, today, as soon as possible. As soon as we get off, I guarantee you're going to love the information off that video, the way that they break it down. And the reason why is because, you know, you guys know I was raised in a Christian society, you know, with a Christian belief system. And I let go of that religion. Not necessarily all of the beliefs that's taught, but I let go of the religion, right? I let go of the idea that you got to worship this God or you're going to hell for the rest of your life, and you got to accept this person or you're going to hell for the rest of your life. I disconnected, or you know, or unsubscribed from that idea. But as far as the principles of faith and belief, I still kept. And I learned it from a scientific aspect to understand that this book is really an esoteric book. What Minister Jew does is he actually goes into the book, and it's funny because he goes into the book the way that I used to go into the book, and he breaks down the esoteric knowledge inside of the book. And when me and my wife was watching one of the videos, it wasn't necessarily the video that I dropped. We watched another video this week from Minister Jew together, and my wife just said, he teach like you. And what it did is help me redefine my belief system and what it is that I truly believe, because I knew what I believed. It's just that sometimes when you believe something and you're not around a lot of people who believe the same thing, sometimes you could feel like you might be crazy, right? Because not many people around you are believing the way that you believe, you know. So when I reconnected to Minister Jew's videos, because he Brother Rich brought him on. I always consistently watch Brother Rich and all the different teachers and esoteric teachers that he bring on, so I could gain different perspectives. So he brought Minister Jew on. It was like the first time in like years that he brought Minister Jew back on. That's the video that I dropped in the link, was Brother Rich bringing Minister Jew back on. So I went back to watch more Minister Jew videos, and it reconfirmed the things that I believe, you know, as far as manifestation and this world being a light system. You plugging into that system and understanding your rightful place in this light system as a light being, and that the world is mirrors. I'm not sure if you guys remember, but we talked about, I gave the analogy. Psychology ascended. Right. All right. So I dropped the analogy of it was a Spider-Man movie where he had to fight Mysterio, and he took all of those drones, and those drones were creating illusions, but the illusions looked so real. It was it was mirrored. The illusion was mirrored. It was pretty much, the drones were mirroring, right, this reality, this false reality, but it appeared as super real, right? And because the drones were physical, it was still causing physical destruction, even though the illusion was fake, right? So I liken those drones to atoms. They're mirrors to create an illusion, right? So as we project ourselves mentally into this reality, so there's a lot to go into when you look at the dream. Is that we're not really here, that we're dreaming, we're asleep. This is a dream world. i.e., the Matrix, right? We're living in a dream world. We are asleep right now, right? Living in a dream world made of light. So, because we are asleep, living in a dream world made of light, it is our uh uh power to put our intent, right, through thought into this dream world, to put our intent, our words, our actions into this dream world. And then the dream world, these atoms in this dream world will what mirror it back to us. This is the science of the law of attraction, right? We're putting out a mirror image of what it is that we want to manifest, what it is that we want to be, what it is that we want to do, right? And the thing is that it starts to come up in different ways, right? So one of our when me and my wife come together and we pray in the morning, one of our prayers is we're thankful and grateful that the universe is creating people, places, and circumstances to propel us forward to our desired goals, right? So the thing is that so the universe is accepting this information, and as we meditate and visualize what our desired goals are, we put that out into the dream world, into the universe, whatever it is that we want to call it, right? And as we visualize and see and we plan, right? We sit down, we plan, we write down our plans, and we're and I ain't talking about affirmation, I'm talking about plans, right? Because plans are affirmations. Because you're saying I'm going to do this, right? So when we write down our plans and we're affirming our plans, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. Then we say, okay, now we're thankful and grateful that the universe, and all of existence is creating people, places, and circumstances to propel us forward to our desired goal, right? So basically, what am I doing? I'm thanking the universe to bring me a call to action. Why? Because people, places, and circumstances that's going to help propel us towards our desired goal. So I'm thinking that the universe is not going to just bring me what I'm asking for, but it's actually going to cause me to be the person that I need to be to attract what I'm asking for. And I'm saying this to tell you that the universe is going to work in all kind of different mysterious ways, right? No, Minister Jew, he explains that the universe, there, his thoughts is not your thoughts, his ways is not your ways. And that brings me back to my favorite scripture. Unto him who's able to do exceedingly and abundantly above all that we can ask or think of, according to the power that works inside of us, right? And I'm saying this to say is that we had two great manifestations. I probably had more, right? I just probably just outside of my spectrum, right? But right now, I just want to think about two manifestations that we had this week that was in two different areas of our life, right? One was a financial manifestation, right? And the financial manifestation was I had a mysterious $490 pop up into my bank account. I still don't know where it came from. To this day, don't know where it came from. $490, right? My wife had $468 that she forgot about show up for her, right? So we getting what? We getting this 444 thing coming? 490, 468. Right? So we just had some money that showed up that kind of just that just came back around. So Chris said she had three, right? So we had some money that showed up that that came back around. And then one of my so as I do my affirmation, I am thankful and grateful because now when I do Uber, I remember I still get up and I work every day. I still get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and I work. Okay, I drive Uber from 6 o'clock in the morning until whatever time I stop. I usually stop around 2 or 3, but I really want to go from 6 to 6. I really want to go 12 hours. So we'll see that happen soon. But I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and I say my affirmation. I'm thankful and grateful that today I will meet people, right? That's going to help propel me towards my goals and my vision. The reason why I'm saying this affirmation because I don't know who I'm going to meet driving Uber. That's the great thing about me driving Uber is that I don't know who I'm going to meet, right? And unlike a job, I could promote my business to whoever in my car. Okay, I could promote. I could say, hey, this is what I do. So this week I had some people that got into my car. We got to talking about marriage and relationships. And they asked me, you know, what's the secret to being married for so long? And I said, well, I got a podcast that talks about all of that. So they immediately go to the podcast and they start following our page. But then there is a couple that I met that were on this cleanse. And I don't know why it clicked, right? I don't know what it is about this couple, why it clicked with us at this moment, at this time. But at this time, they were telling me something about some of the things that they were doing. They followed my YouTube page, right? They said we definitely want to connect with you. They follow my YouTube page, and then they were telling me about a cleanse that they were on. And for some reason, it clicked for me and my wife to start this cleanse. Right, one a black couple. I think the husband was white and the wife was Hispanic. But for some reason they clicked. It was just like an instant quantum entanglement, and it inspired us to start our cleanse immediately. We literally took immediate action. I ate some chicken that night, and then that very Friday morning, I drove them on Thursday. I ate chicken Thursday night. On Friday morning, I haven't had since Thursday night. I haven't had any meats or any sugar or alcohol. Right. And yesterday might be another reason why I'm so plugged in. It's because we are starting to cleanse ourselves. And yesterday was a tough day. Like yesterday was like the challenge. When you overcome those challenges and you had that breakthrough, because we literally just started on Friday. So yesterday was Saturday. We get invited to a baby shower that had all of our favorite unhealthy foods. Right? They had the barbecue meatballs, they had the Cajun pasta, they had the jerk chicken, they had the nachos, they had the huge cupcakes, they had everything that I would have loved to indulge in at that baby shower. And me and my wife sitting here with cucumbers and celery and and fruit on our plate, looking hungry as a dog. And like for me, because I'm a big guy. I'm hungry all day, every day. Like I was so hungry looking at that food, and I'm pretty sure like every parasite in my body that lives off of that food was irritated with me. Like was really pissed off with me. Like, dude, you see that food, dude, just put a droplet on there or something. Like just eat one nacho. Say the sunlight help your hunger? I don't know. That's a very good question. I'm not really sure. But we stood the test. We didn't eat the food, and I really went to bed not feeling my best last night. And the guy told me, he said, by day 3 he had a headache. Like he was so grumpy. Him and his wife was kind of fussing with each other. It was kind of grumpy, but once they got to past that 3rd day, they were okay. They were able to just keep the process going. But I believe yesterday was really that test day for us, because we really had to endure going to that. At that point, when I was out, I was thinking, I don't want to go nowhere. I don't go to nobody. I don't want to go no events for the next however many days we're gonna be doing this, because this is crazy. But it was a awesome experience. So with that being said, I really want to encourage you guys to, number one, watch Minister Jew's video, because he's going to give you guys some information. I like the way that he teaches it. And you guys are going to get some information. Remember last week I was telling you, it's not necessarily how good the information is. It's how the emotional attachment that you have to this information. And this information is something I'm very passionate about. And it really helps confirm my belief system to really start digging in and really start tapping into. And it's crazy because a long time ago, when I first learned about the law of attraction and the power of thought going out into the universe, and then bringing it back to you, I said that is the kingdom of heaven that's talked about in the Bible. Like that concept, that this invisible world that we have access to, that we have dominion over, to impress our thoughts, emotions, and feelings and words into this invisible atmosphere, and it brings it and it mirrors it back to you. That's the kingdom of heaven. And Minister Jew actually confirmed the very same thing on that. It's actually another video that me and my wife watched where he actually confirmed that is the kingdom of heaven. And I'm like, dude, that's been my belief system all this time. Now it's time for me to really dig in and start living this thing out, because that has been my belief system, to let me get into my quiet place and really dig in and live this thing out. So that being said, we're going to get into the second agreement. I actually went and got the text from upstairs. I wanted to refresh, and we're going to talk about agreement number 1, the first agreement. Be impeccable with your word. I'm just going to read the beginning of it. The first agreement is the most important one and also the most difficult one to honor. It is so important that with just this first agreement, you will be able to transcend the level of existence I call heaven on earth. The first agreement is be impeccable with your word. It sounds very simple, but it's very, very powerful. Why your word? Your word is the power that you have to create. Your word is the gift that comes directly from God. The Gospel of John in the Bible, speaking of creation of the universe, says, in the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. Through the Word, you express your creative power. It is through the Word you manifest everything. Regardless of what language you speak, your intent manifests through the Word. What you dream, what you feel, what you really are will all be manifested through the word. The word is not just a sound or a written symbol. The word is a force. It is a power that you have to express and communicate, to think, and thereby to create events in your life. So with this, now I actually want to give you guys some time to talk about this as well and give your perspectives on it. But with this, so I want to recap. I like to listen to a lot of different perspectives, right? Because this helps me understand different perspectives. Different perspectives helps me understand this a whole lot more, right? So you guys remember we were talking about that scripture. In the beginning was the word was with God, the word was God. And I told you that an old mentor of mine who was mentoring a group of people, my team, when I was doing Solovay network marketing, I had a old mentor of mine who came in and mentored my team. And he asked him a question. He said, in that scripture, in that particular scripture, in the beginning was the word was with God, and the word was God. What does the word mean in that passage? And everybody kept saying, the logos, the spoken word of God. He was like, yeah, that's what your pastor taught you. But if you go get a concordance and break that word down to its original meaning, what does the word mean? I tried to call him back and have this conversation with him, but he didn't answer. So I'm gonna have to reach out to him, because I actually went and got my concordance and I broke that thing down. And it actually goes back, and even Minister Jew went into this as well, that the word actually means the thoughts and reasoning of what? Of man. The thoughts and reasoning of man. So, and then Minister Jew even goes into that, where that word actually goes back into the word thought, right? So understanding, listening to Don Miguel and what he's saying, is that the word is your gift from God. But if we combine it with the other information, the other esoteric knowledge, now we're even seeing that what? Thought is your word. Not just the words that you speak, but the words that you think, right? The images that you see is your word. And sometimes we want to be impeccable with what we say only, but what if we're also very impeccable with what we think? understanding that our thoughts are our words as well, is our word as well. So being impeccable with what we think and taking our thoughts, right, on the same, holding our thoughts to the same level that we hold our spoken words, and being very impeccable with our thinking, with our words, right, and making it what of a single sight. That's what the Bible said. The eye is single, right, which means that your thought, your third eye, your mind sees only in one direction, and that's in the direction of integrity, direction of being impeccable, to the point to where you're putting your intent not only in the words that you speak and in your thoughts. Because I'm telling you this, like when I was in church, and more, it's probably like a lot for a lot of church people, is that we stay focused on the right words to pray in church, but we have no thought on the right thoughts to think outside of those prayers. So we get this prayer, start praying the exact thing that we want. We trying to speak this thing into existence, and we're, in the name of Jesus, and all this good. But then when we get done with that prayer, we thinking the worst thoughts in the world. We're thinking every limited thought, every limited belief, everything that's going to contradict and cancel out all of our prayers is going on in our mind. And we just totally just obliviated that whole prayer, because we're not being impeccable with the words in our inside of our head as well. So if we take those two things together and say, okay, I know that I'm living in a dream. This dream is made up of light. This light produces atoms. These atoms are mirrors, and every thought that I put into these atoms will mirror back to me. Every word that I speak into these mirrors of atoms will come back to me, will reflect back to me. It's going to give me a mirror image. I was thinking about my car the other day, and I was thinking about Kevin Trudeau. He said you can ask for a specific car, or you can ask for a car that makes you feel a specific way, right? Because for me, I consider myself a corporate executive professional, right? And when you see my car, and it's only a Toyota Avalon, but it looks like a Lexus, right? It's probably one of the best looking Toyota Avalons on the streets. And I was looking at my car. I was like, man, because you know how the RAS works. Once you get a car, you start seeing that car all over the place. I wasn't seeing no Avalons on the road. Once I got that car, I saw Avalons all over the place. I told my wife the other day, I said, none of these Avalons look like mine. I was like, for some reason, like, I only saw one Avalon that looked like mine. I was like, I really got a nice car. I mean, even the door, when I open up the doors, the lights on the ground say Avalon when I open up the doors. It says Toyota. I'm sorry. When I open up the doors, it's a light that goes on the ground that says Toyota when I open up the doors. So I thought about it. I said, you know what? I manifested the car, because I was getting ready to buy another car that I actually applied for and got approved for, but it wasn't the car that was going to make me feel the way I feel when I drive this car. It was a Elantra, Hyundai Elantra. It's like a little small, kind of like a little Toyota Corolla, something like that. Nice car, but it wasn't going to make me feel the way that I wanted to feel when I drove my car. So when I looked at my Avalon, I said, you know what? I manifested the car that makes me feel the way that I want to feel when I drive it. Because the other car, for some reason, wouldn't pass the inspection test, so they couldn't deliver it to me. That's the reason why I did not get it. I got approved for it. It was no money down. They were getting ready to deliver it, but it could not pass the inspection test. So the universe was working like, nah, bro, this ain't what you asked for. Why are you trying to buy this? Matter of fact, we ain't gonna even let you buy it, because this ain't what you asked for. So go look at this car. I looked at the car. I said, all right, it's an Avalon. It's going to be bigger. It's probably going to be nice. I'm going to go ahead and get it. I didn't think it was going to look as nice as it looked when it got in front of my house. When they got in front of my house, I was like, dang, like this mother looked like a Maybach almost. Like a Maybach with a Toyota emblem on it. Like, this is a nice car. And I was like, okay, I see what you're doing, universe. You're not going to let me drive nothing that's not going to make me feel like an executive, professional, CEO, boss man that I see myself as. all because that's how I see myself when I visualize. So the universe is like, no. So now it's like, I'm really getting excited now. I'm really getting excited because the more I tap into the light, the more I tap into my understanding, the more I tap into the mirror images and really start projecting the mirror image of what it is that I want to be. I say that the universe is what? Bringing people, places, and circumstances to propel me forward towards my desired goal. Right? Me and my wife, we wanted to start our couples events and everything, and doing our couples events and really taking our podcast to the physical world, from doing couples events and ballroom lessons. Not only do we have a location that we can do couples events, but we don't have to put any money up front. We're also using this location to teach the ballroom lessons. And all of this, all of this came to us through people and places and circumstances that the universe has been putting in our life the whole time. We just have to take action. That's when we go back to Bashar. What? Pursue your passion with everything that you have. Pursue your passion with everything that you have. How do we know what our passion is unless we think about it? We got to put those words into the universe. So be impeccable. Be impeccable with your words. Be impeccable with your thoughts. Because these thoughts is what we're doing to manifest the world that we want to live in. So the thought, the word or the thought is a force. It's a power that you have to express and communicate and to think, and thereby to create the events in your life. So we all can get the general understanding of being impeccable with your word. Don't speak evil. Don't speak negative on other people. Don't speak negative on yourself, right? But also don't think negative on other people. Don't think negative on yourself. Now that I'm back on the road, I gotta catch myself so many times. So I call so many people dumb on the road, right? When I'm driving Uber, I call so many people dumb. Like, oh man, you just dumb. You just dumb. I gotta say, no, well, let me stop doing that. Let me stop saying that, because that's not a good reflection. That's not good energy that I'm putting out. So I'll be having to catch myself sometimes. Like, sorry, you can't call these people dumb, because you call them dumb, calling yourself dumb, right? Because we are all one. They're just driving, okay, and they're driving the way that you don't drive. So you just kind of slow down, let them have it. Just let them have it. Just let them have it, and just do what you do, and manifest what you want to manifest, right? So it's all good. I got to keep myself in the perspective that it's all good. Let them do what they do. It's all good. And I got to catch myself a lot, because that road is a test. That's my next test, right? Of being able to take my patience to the next level, which I'm a very patient person, but now it's time for me to take it to the next level. Patience, okay, in this test. So with that being said, it's 11:50. I really wanted to give you guys that perspective and that addition to being impeccable with your words. So what I want to do is I want to take the last amount of time that we have to hear from you guys on your perspectives and what you guys learned from being impeccable with your word, and what that means to you.
Listen, so I had to do the same thing that you did. I had to remember that being impeccable with your word doesn't just mean the words out loud. It's also the things that you think. And even like I have been going through this thing where I constantly clean out my social media feed. Like I make sure that I'm not following, or on certain apps, you can say that you're not interested in certain topics, to make sure that the things that I want are the things that are coming in, so I don't get the negativity by mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have a tendency, or had a tendency, to see it and then go down rabbit holes, but those were like negativity rabbit holes. So
Mm-hmm.
I've been making a more conscious effort to clean it out, because it's like every couple months I clean it out, the stuff comes back, like the algorithms reboot or something. So, and I told y'all last week I have the little note on my desk that says it's not real. And now I have like a little wristband to remind me, like, you know what, it's not real. These are just thoughts, think something else, you know, because I want to continue to build the mental state that I want to have consistently. Like I'm not there yet, but I need to continue to work to get there. And I have to be conscious of even the little things so that I can get to where I want to be mentally. Because without being there mentally, you can't manifest it physically. So yeah, that's and I got notes at my desk, but that's the gist.
Nice. Absolutely. Absolutely. Good deal. Who's next? Who's next on being impeccable with your word?
Okay. Can you all hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. I have more of like question, comment. I
Mm-hmm.
don't really know how kind of thing because like right now in my life, like everything is kind of like blown up in my face.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to be positive and like be looking at the other side of things, like, oh, this is temporary, all of that, right? But I also see like the cycles of the different things that are happening now that have happened before. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to be like, okay, is there a lesson that I needed to learn, before that I didn't learn that maybe I can implement now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel like it's working. And now I'm at the point where other people are actually being stupid. Like they're literally moving and thinking out of the emotions that they're going through and dealing with,
Mm-hmm.
which is causing negative effects on me in my
Mm-hmm.
life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like to when you said it, you were like, to not think about people negatively or not speak about people negatively. How when that's the reality that they're showing me? Like I'm literally saying like, well, maybe we should talk about it. Maybe it's this, maybe it's that. And like I just keep getting, you get what I'm saying? So like I'm just trying to figure out implementation wise, like how to move forward and not backward.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't
Yep.
figure it out.
So um just to give you an idea of being impeccable with your word in a situation like that, because one thing that I used to do, you know, is I would notice reoccurring situations. I would notice cycles, right? And then what happens is, and then this is where we go into the next agreement. I think it's the second agreement. It's not. Yep, that goes to the second agreement. Not taking things personal. So what happens is when you start seeing cycles, sometimes we'll reflect back to our past. And then we'll reattach to the emotional attachment that happened in the past when we see a cycle. And we'll say, oh, it's happening again. Here it goes again. Right. And when you do that, that's your word. It's happening again. And then when you do that, what happens? It happens again because you attach what you're going through to your past and your unpleasant past experience. So what I had to learn to do inside of my mind eyesight, instead of me, if I see a cycle happening, instead of me attaching it to my past, oh, here it goes again. This looks familiar. I've been here before. I started to disassociate my present situation to my past experiences. And I didn't take it personal. And I said, you know what? It's time for my breakthrough. It's time for me to break through and get to the next level. Because I've been here before, right? So this is not something that's happening that's going to take me back into a down spiral. This is now something that's going to happen to take me to what? A forward moving spiral. So just put it like this. Keep asking the universe for people, places, and circumstances that's going to propel you forward to your desired goal, to your desired goal. And what's going to happen is certain people will disappear. Certain people will show up. The test is this. Whatever situation that you're in, you make the decision to ignore. I'm going to make it just in layman's terms. Ignore the bullshit. You literally have to come to a point where you ignore the bullshit. And Jay-Z says, "You're not real to me. You don't even exist. So poof, vamoose, son of a bitch." In the words of Jay-Z, I learned a lot from those lyrics. He said, he's talking about his haters. In that line, he's talking about his haters. They're not real to me. They don't even exist. So poof, vamoose, son of a bitch. Like you're not real to me. You don't even exist to me. I remember I called a friend of mine an asshole because we was playing basketball with some other people, and he didn't feel they were good as them, and they was talking junk to him. He said, you guys are beneath me. He said, you guys are beneath me. But that guy make every jump shot that he shoot, just about, you know. But the thing is that's his mentality. That you guys are not even on my level when it comes to basketball. So I'm not telling you to be an asshole to them, but what I'm telling you to do is that when people come, you literally come to a place to where you decide to ignore them. You decide to ignore the bullshit. You decide to say, you know what, that's pretty much what I got to do on the road. When I'm driving and they start driving crazy, I just slow down. I got to slow down, let them go, and act like it never happened. It keeps me at peace. But you know when I do it the most? When I got my personal development in my ear. So here's the benefit of me driving Uber. Is that I got my ear pods and I got my second phone. Or I used to use my other phone. I just had another phone sitting around, so I just had to use that. And I just, hotspot internet to my second phone from this phone. And I listened to Minister Jew, Billy Carson, Don Miguel, Bob Proctor. I listen to it all day while I'm driving. If my customer want to talk, I'll cut the volume down and I'll have a conversation with them. Because more than likely, I'm expecting that conversation to lead to what? A circumstance is going to propel me forward to my desired goal. So I'll cut the volume down, have a conversation with them. If they don't want to talk, I got this information in my ear. I'm zoned out. I don't care about how crazy they driving in traffic because I'm listening. I don't even know if they talking to me. They got to tap me on the shoulder and say, "Sir," why? Because I'm into what's being spoken into my ear at that time. And it gives me the ability to get 4, 5, 6 hours of personal development in. So the thing is that fill your mind up with this, even if you don't understand it. When I send y'all a video to watch it. Watch it because it's going to give you information that's going to take you away from this reality for a moment. And they're teaching you how to build your reality in your mind. Because the reality that we're facing today is a reality that we have built in our mind. And this is the residual. Everything that you're facing today is a residual of old thoughts, old emotions, and old words and old actions. It's just residual. It's not who you are today. It's residual of who you used to be. So the decision that you make today is going to create a new residual. So today you say, you know what? If you come and act stupid to me, I'm going to speak blessings on your life. You know what? I hope and pray that you obtain everything it is that you're trying to obtain in this lifetime. I hope and pray. Start praying for other people. They talk about that. Minister Jew talks about that. Matter of fact, here you go. Here you go, Dayla. This is the reason why I love other perspectives. It's because they give you so much that you can see that you may not have seen before, especially when you're with the professionals, right? So you said like you're getting hit with a lot of craziness, right? A lot of stuff is coming to you that don't seem beneficial, right? Kind of like when you go to the Bible and you hear the story of Job, and he just got hit with a lot of stuff at one time, right? And his wife was like, and his friend, maybe you should just curse God, right? But he said, nope, because God, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away, which I didn't even really understand the totalness of that scripture until Minister Jew broke it down. And that is that the universe giveth and the universe takes away, right? And his friends was trying to figure out, what did you do wrong to make all of this happen to you? What did you do wrong? You must have did something wrong. What did you do wrong to make all of this happen to you? And what happens is that all the negativity that his friends was bringing to him, that his wife was bringing to him, he said things turned around for Job when he prayed for his friends. When he prayed for his friends. So here you go, Dayla. How to be impeccable with your word in this situation. No longer call them stupid. It don't matter what they're doing. They're light beings. They're gods. Don't matter what they're doing. Don't matter what they're saying. Doesn't matter. Pray for them. Pray for their health. Pray for their wealth. Pray for their mental health, their spiritual health. Pray for their prosperity. Pray for their awakening. Pray for their enlightenment. Don't talk to them about it. It'll get to them. Let the universe get that to them, right? Let the Akashic get that. It'll catch your prayers and it'll get it to them over time. Bring it to a prayer for them. Put it in the universe. Why? Because atoms are what? In the book, the atoms are what? Come on. We reading the book together. What are the atoms? Right? Because your friends, they're light beings, right? They're light beings made of atoms. And what are the atoms? They're mirrors. They're mirrors, right? I'm rubber, you glue, whatever you say to be, bounce off me and stick back to you. Right? So be impeccable with your words and say, you know what? These people are the image and likeness of the Creator. I pray for their prosperity. I pray for their health, their mental health, their spiritual health. I pray for their financial prosperity. Why? Because if you're praying these things on your friends, you're praying them back on yourself. Whatever you pray for other people, you pray to yourself. So as soon as you call somebody else stupid, you calling yourself stupid. That's why I say I got to stop calling people dumb. If I call them dumb, calling myself dumb. Why? Because we're all one. So I have to ignore it, act like it doesn't exist. Pray for their safety to their location. You know what? I hope they make it to their location safely. Let me pray for their safety. Let me be impeccable with my words. You know what? Let me pray for their safety. Why? Because what's the last agreement? Do your best, right? And your best is going to look different at different times. So your best may not be you're going to initially pray for them. Your best may be right now you're going to initially call them stupid. But then your best says, you know what? I can't call them stupid. I forgot. If I call them stupid, I'm calling myself stupid. So you know what? Yeah, it's going to be hard to do. But hey, if you call them stupid, call them stupid. But just catch yourself. Then take it back and say, you know what? They not stupid. They not stupid. They not dumb. Let me just pray for their safety. Let me pray for their emotional intelligence. Let me pray for everything it is that I'm trying to achieve in life. Let me pray it on them. Because if I pray it for them, I'm praying it for myself. If I'm praying it for them, I'm praying it for myself. People do question, but then at the same time, Will, I do questionable stuff. Right? I do questionable stuff. I do stuff that somebody else may consider stupid, right? Or I may do something that I consider stupid. Like, Bashari, why did you even do that? You know? Like what? So the thing is that is my questionable thing more justifiable than their questionable thing? Does that make me a better person? Because I perceive that my questionable thing is not as dumb as theirs. Why? Because it's all perspective. Because somebody else may say, well, Bashari, your questionable thing was dumber than theirs. It's all a matter of perspectives, which we all have our own. Because we all have our own minds, we all have our own thoughts, we all have our own realities. So the thing is that once you start praying for other people, even when you don't feel like it, just catch yourself and say, you know what? For the sake of myself, do it selfishly. For the sake of myself, I'm going to pray for you. Because I don't want to call nobody stupid, and I don't want to take on that energy. For the sake of myself, I'm going to pray for you. And there's a scripture in the Bible that says what? Bless those that curse you. Pray for those that do you harm. Bless those that curse you. Why? Because now I'm seeing this Bible, it's an esoteric book. The reason why I'm saying is because you are all one. So if you do it for somebody else, you're doing it back to yourself. Because everything is what? A mirror reflection of you. Does that help, Dayla?
Yeah, I don't like it, but it helps. I guess.
That's all right.
But
That's all
that's
right.
the only
Because
answer.
so what I
I'll
want
take
you to do. So what I want you to do this week. This is your homework, Dayla. See, so and the thing is that the more I listen to the people that's pouring into me, like I'm listening to Minister Jew. Now it's like I got to take it to the next step. I actually got to go reach out to these people and meet these people and talk to them because they're helping me. And one thing that I noticed that they do with the people that they work with and that they speak to, they give them assignments. So I'm going to give you an assignment, Dayla. Go back, because we're going to talk about this next week. Go back and read the Second Agreement, chapter 3. Don't take anything personally. This is going to help you get through that. It's going to help you get through that. If you need a coach, let me know. Or not a coach, an accountability partner. Let me know. Because I did have an accountability partner. My wife was my accountability partner. And we did this with each other because, I don't really care about what most people think. The only people I really care about what they think is my wife and my kids and my mother. Anybody else, I could give rat's ass what you think about me. Don't really care. You can say whatever it is that you want to say. So it's easy for me to let it roll off my shoulders. So I just don't care. But my wife, my kids, and my mom, I really care about what those people think about me. So if I'm going to take anything personal, It'll probably be something that came out of my wife's mouth, or my children's mouth, or my mother's mouth. It's probably what I would take personal before anything else. So with me having my wife as an accountability partner, and vice versa, we were able to help each other identify and recognize when we're taking things personal. And to go back and remember the agreement that we're not going to take things personal. So go back and read the third agreement and really take it in. Like, just take some time to breathe, meditate, relax, get into a relaxed state, go somewhere, get by yourself. Spend some time alone as much as you can. This week, spend as much time as you can alone, by yourself, however you can do it, and get your personal development in. At that time that you're alone, forget about everything else in your world, everything else that's going around you, and just focus on your mental health and your spiritual health and your dream. Yeah, yep, your dream, exactly. Just focus on your dream. Because sometimes you got to get alone to start to change your dream. Because remember, this is a dream. We sleep. We sleepwalking. And you just want to change your dream. The best way to do that is what? To get by yourself. Get away from everything. Get away from the world. Get by yourself and take in the information that's only going to benefit you. Get in your prayer closet. Right? What you do in private, you will be rewarded openly. That's what the scripture says. You know, I'm starting to get back to it, right? I'm starting to get back to it. So get into your prayer closet, get to yourself, get into this third agreement, soak it in as much as you possibly can. Get as much personal development as you possibly can. Get to yourself, breathe, meditate, draw blank, go to a state of just existence. So it'll calm you down, it'll calm your spirit down, calm your thoughts down, and then get into this information as much as you possibly can this week, and then we'll revisit it next week, okay?
Okay.
All right. Good deal. Good deal. All right, Will, you got something?
Not for the recording. You know, much love to all y'all. I appreciate every day we have together doing life study, digging into this deeper understanding of knowledge. I did have some questions I wanted to ask you about this interview.
Say off the recording?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, but you got anything about being impeccable with your word that you want to share?
There's a lot I can say about being impeccable with your word. For me, I'm realizing this.
I'm close to the mic.
I'm sorry, I can't hear me, so I don't do a lot of talking. For me, being impeccable with your word. First of all, I want to touch on what Bashari said. That was so profound about being mindful what you say about other people, because we're mirrors and we're reflecting that back to ourselves. I think that's the first time I really got that interpretation of that saying, or understanding it that way. But I know I'm quick to get in my little mood sometime and get the venting, and I'll catch myself and I'll apologize. Like, Lord, forgive me. I know that wasn't right. I take it back, Lord. I'm gonna take it back. But that's part of me being impeccable with my word, is when I realize, okay, because I listen to Louise Hayhouse too. I love her. One thing she says is it's okay not to deny your feelings, right? So that's what I felt at that moment, and I allowed myself to feel what I was feeling. But then I recognized that I was not impeccable with my word, so I don't make myself wrong with that, because that's how I felt. But now that I've expressed it and I've acknowledged it, I'm gonna clean it up. Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna clean it up real quick.
Yep. So they remember, call them stupid. If you gotta call them stupid. After you call them stupid, then be like, you know what? All right.
Clean it up. Throw it. And after you break it, go clean it up. So that's how I deal with it, because driving driving on these Houston streets, let me tell you something. I'll call a lot of people some names too.
Mhm.
I'm so serious. But also being impeccable with my word. For me personally, I realize I affirm and esteem and speak highly of everybody else, but I didn't do so much for myself. And I don't think I actually really realized it, but my current state and reality is based off of what I've created for myself. And it's because I haven't spoken those things over myself that I desire. I always criticize or find fault, or I realized I was very hard on myself, but not on other people. That's what's so funny. So, summing this up, being impeccable with my word is I'm very, very, very mindful of when I say a thought to myself and I realize, Kiana, it wasn't a good thought. I don't care if it's something like, oh, you got this pimple coming on your face. You know what? I will immediately recognize that I called out a fault, and I will say, you know what? I have a beautiful face.
Mhm.
I accept myself just the way that I am, right? Or something as simple as, oh my God, I can't believe I did not pay that bill on time. Oh my God, I can't stand it when I do silly stuff like that. Like I get really angry.
Mhm.
Then I have to say to myself, you know what, Kiana? I made a mistake. It's okay. We're not going to make a big deal out of it. What happened, happened. We're going to move forward because I am organized and I pay all my bills on time. And I'll say an affirmation to counteract the negative thought that I had. And I've been noticing this has been a full-time job. I've been catching my thoughts a lot lately. And I'm going to tell you something. I love having this summertime because I feel like this summer time off from my job, quote unquote job, has given me time to not feel pressure about meeting my expectations as far as bills and everything like that. And that was a big thing for me that stopped me from finding the peace that I needed to really dig deep, right? And so I feel like this is really one of the very first times I'm at a solid place to really dig deep and pull up those final roots that's really been holding me back. But and I'm a close with this. Another thing I hear a lot is the people around you or the way you think about the people in your circle is a reflection of who you are. And when I think about the people in my circle, OMG, we have the most amazing people
Mhm.
in our circle. They're ambitious, they're smart, they're loving, they're kind, they're generous, they're motivated, they're creative, they're inspiring, they're knowledgeable. Like I could go on and on and on. And I'm speaking of every single person in our circle. So of course that's including you guys. And it reminds me, if you feel so highly about the people in your circle, then you should feel the same way about yourself. I just dropped the mic.
That's correct. Mm-hmm. Yep. So you definitely got to have those same thoughts for yourself that you have for other people. And the great thing is that, the more that you speak those things on other people, it reflects back on yourself. Because I don't even know if you notice, but a lot of people see you the same way that you see other people.
I had to start realizing
Mm-hmm.
that. I
Yeah.
think what helped me was when we had that conversation that day, and I was like, "Who am I?"
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't spend a lot of time, I guess, really like defining who I see myself as, right? Because I've evolved over the years, and again, I'm not the same Kiana I was when I married Bashari. I'm not the same Kiana, 8 years ago when I moved to Houston. So sometimes I have to check in with myself and say, okay, who are you? What's important to you? What do you value? What do you like?
Mm-hmm.
And Bashari, he kind of gave me his perspective, and it really helped a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for saying that
Absolutely.
back.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and stop the recording. It's 12:21. We're gonna go ahead and stop this recording. So those of you who are watching this on whatever platform that I post this on, remember to like and subscribe and to join us. I will be getting invitations out to the Zoom to more people to come and participate in the life study. So I do believe that what we have is valuable, and that more people can definitely benefit from this information and applying the information and knowledge to their lives. So peace out for those of you in the world of the internet. We are going to start recording now.